Hey, it's Rosemary here. How you doing? Okay, this is it. This that I'm about to talk to you about is exactly the kind of thing I've been wanting to talk about forever, but never thought that I could because you know what? Most people, I thought actually that most people just want to know about the tips, the tricks, the strategies. How do I make money in 2 seconds flat and all that kind of stuff? And you know what? I have an abundance of those ideas as well. You know, you work with me, you'll be surprised at all the ideas I pour out on you to get your business off the ground, okay? And you'll wonder why you never saw those ideas yourself. And it will be because of this, okay? This one little thing. I am intimately connected to source, to spirit, to my papa, and I walk by spirit, and I'm in close, intimate relationship with him. And so I get these downloads, I get these ideas, and I just kind of release them to you guys, okay? So it's not something that I just read in a holy book, and not something I just parrot out because that is what I've been taught since birth. Used to be, but not any longer. Now this is real, and you cannot speak to me about anything meaningful for any length of time without actually realizing it, because the energy that comes from me, from that connection with my papa, will hit you like a lorry, and you'll think that it's just that I'm positive, wise, or any of those things, but actually it's because of this relationship, this most precious relationship. And this is the magical thing. You can have it too, man. And you've been longing for it, wishing that you could hear back, wishing that you knew the magic bullet that would open up the heavens so that you could also be close to spirit as well as, create the wealth, create the impact that you want. And you've sung the songs and raised your hands to the heavens and you said the prayers, and it hasn't really been all that real to you, has it? You've tried and you've tried to be close to God, to source, to spirit, to the universe, to higher power, to intuition, all different names for the same thing. You've longed for it, and yet it just hasn't happened for you. And you felt alone, trying to make sense of the world on your own, trying to live out the vision, the calling you feel strongly in your life, trying to create wealth and not being sure if that was the reason why you could not get close to spirit, because maybe he thought you were too greedy and mercenary, okay? And so you allowed yourself to receive just enough to do just about okay, but not as excellently as you would have liked. But this keeps the guilt at bay, doesn't it, okay? If you don't have too much and you try not to think about it, then maybe you'll be good enough for a relationship with spirit, right? Maybe then he'll hear you and you'll be able to hear and have that relationship that your heart craves. And sweetie, honey, there are just no hoops to jump through. Not like what they told you, okay? They didn't know themselves, and so they taught you out of their own lack. They were parroting themselves what they'd been taught by teachers who were more about the theory than the actual practice. And so they couldn't tell you what they didn't know themselves, but you believed them, and you too went along parroting what they had said to you with no real experience yourself. And now it's time to stop the just parroting the nonsense and step into experiencing the reality. You can have real relationship with spirit, real relationship, and I want to teach you how. Because like you, I went through years in the wilderness, not really knowing that I was loved and taken care of, not really knowing that Papa was there. I was just throwing out these prayers, kind of hoping that they were actually getting somewhere. I was buried in my holy book, trying to dig out the answers, spouting the verses over and over again to anyone who would listen, just to convince myself, okay, that they must be true. They must be true. So what if it didn't really feel true to me? I couldn't completely say that out loud though, because God might punish me. The dreaded lightning bolt from heaven. Uh-oh. Well, this is the thing. It was a horrid time because since I can remember, I've had two things that have been particularly plaguing my mind. Now I know why, but then the spirituality, the sexuality. These are two kind of opposing things to most people. And even to me for a long time, for a long, long time, I felt this guilt, this shame, this kind of horrid feeling inside. And I definitely did not feel loved by God. And then you add on my logical kind of left brain. And you have someone who looked at others who were having all these, spiritual experiences. And I either thought that they were a bit flaky and judging them for it. And I just wondered why these things never ever seemed to happen to me, okay? And the truth of the matter is this: I've been at the helm of a few spiritual awakenings from when I was at school and everything, and yet I've never quite felt that deep connection myself, though I longed for it. And everybody else that I was leading seemed to experience something that I was missing. I was truly the blind leader leading sometimes the more enlightened, actually. Because I've always been that leader, okay? And people have always been drawn to whatever it is that I carry. And now I know what it always was, but then I just kind of went along with it. Like, well, they like me, so let's just get on with it. Or I buried it because I was afraid, okay? And my left brain would be there kind of judging away as others kind of did all kinds of crazy stuff under the spirit. And though I sometimes judged and always wondered, I still just wanted this stuff to happen to me, okay? I was crying out for more. I wanted the experience. I wanted to really know the intimate relationship with Papa. It could no longer be a one-sided thing. And finally, thankfully, someone left brain like me took the time to explain it all and how to communicate in terms that I could understand. And I connected immediately. This was around about 2005. I realized that Spirit had been there all along, holding me up, keeping me close, speaking to me, but I'd not been able to hear because I was in judgment mode, I was in left brain mode. Well, there's nothing wrong with left brain mode at all, but I was logicalizing everything and criticizing everything, trying to make it all rational, even though I longed for what could be called, the irrational. And leader, if you're still listening to me, then I know that you too long for this breakthrough, okay? To finally know that you are loved, to finally know that deep peace inside of you that comes from a close relationship with Source. You want it. And you also want to be a fountain of ideas, creative ideas for every single aspect of your life. You want to be able to trust your intuition and not always be looking outside of you for answers. You want all of God. You crave it. Without all the human judgments and craziness, you want the real thing. And I want to help you connect, okay? I want to teach you what I was taught, plus what I've learned over the last 11, 12 years from being in connection with Source. You can have it all, literally. And this is it. I am putting on a series of 3 workshops over 3 weeks, starting on Saturday the 27th of August, 27th of August, okay? And it's called The Spiritual Entrepreneur. This series of 3, it's called The Spiritual Entrepreneur, How to Change Lives, Be Spiritual, and Get Rich, okay? So week 1, we're going to be covering how to hear back from Spirit, because lots of people can talk. We can talk to Spirit, but not many people will say that they're hearing back with any kind of confidence. I want to show you how, okay? Number 2, or week 2, the second workshop will be about handling your spiritual hang-ups. All those reasons you have that, I can't be spiritual, I make money from it, and all of this kind of stuff, and the begging and pleading you call prayer and all that stuff, we will look at it, okay? We'll handle it. Week 3, you need to be the light of the world. It's like a responsibility, really, okay? Because you're a leader, you have something to offer. It's a responsibility. You need to be the light of the world, impacting millions, making millions. So I'm going to give you strategy. It's all right talking about the woo-woo stuff, but I'm not just about the woo-woo. I did mention in my left brain, right? So we also have to talk about the strategy. How are you actually going to start impacting millions? Now that you're free from the crazy beliefs that have been holding you back, let's impact millions. Let's make millions, okay? Because it's your responsibility to be successful. It is, okay? It is. You just need to accept that. So I want to put a strategy behind it. And for the first 5 people that join this workshop at rosemarynonunite.com/spiritual entrepreneur, you will get your business actually hashed out live right there on the workshop. Okay. So 3 live workshops online. Okay. 3 live online workshops. If you can't attend the live ones, then you'll get the recording very shortly after it's done. So within 24 hours, you'll have the recordings. You get 4 weeks bonus entry to the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club. 5 people are going to get their whole business strategy mapped out live right there on one of the workshops. You're going to get the bonus of the Pray, Affirm, Receive workshop as well for free as part of this, because I want to make sure that you're completely covered. All of this to help you connect with Spirit, to become everything you've ever wanted to be in relationship, close, intimate relationship, and feel like you're completely on purpose, whilst at the same time creating wealth for you, for yours, for your community. Okay, it is time. It is time. It is time. So go right now to rosemarynonunite.com/spiritual entrepreneur. Go and read what I've put out there for you and join in. rosemarynonunite.com/spiritual entrepreneur. It's time to fight for and to deliberately design the life you were born to live because you want to. Until the next time.